On Second Shot, we tackle 2 new headlines every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And we want you to be a part of that. When you see a headline you want to take a second shot at, or if you're looking for advice, or just want to tell us what you think of the show, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, rate us on iTunes. This helps us move up in the ratings so more people will see us. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the show so that the new episodes will get straight to you every single Friday. We love you. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
There's a lot of news in the world today.
News that might surprise you, startle you, upset, or maybe impress.
News that's not always for the faint of heart.
That's why the man who failed his way to success, Heath Oakes, is stepping up.
Tackling today's headlines with ignorance on fire in a way only a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with your host, Heath Oakes.
If I've never wanted my own jet, which I have forever, I want it even more so now with these last month where I've been flying nonstop, and I'm like
being in airports.
I'm looking at them nonstop. So my beautiful wife Jenny and Chando's in with us again.
Hey everybody.
And Zach and Matt.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hey, I wanted to ask, when you sit in an airplane now, does it kind of, are you in any way like frustrated because you've flown one? Do you have this weird feeling like this could be going faster? What's taking so long here? This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I don't know. Is you running that?
Zero. No, I have no frustration with the pilot. Like, I'm more amazed at how they're able to land them so smoothly and everything, because mine was not nearly like no.
Take it from his number one passenger.
You weren't ever. You rode one time.
Yeah, well, exactly.
A lot of lonely rides up there in the sky.
Yeah. I more so get frustrated. It's just the amount of time that you got to get to the airport early. You get herded through like cattle. You wait around, and you're on all. I like control too much.
Oh sure.
I like control.
Yep.
And you can't control that, so.
But once you get on the plane, you're okay.
It's nothing to do with my frustration has zero to do with pilots and stuff. They are really good. They're more impressive to me than anything.
Yeah, like a mutual respect and admiration. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they would have a mutual one. My piloting
this
skills.
Fool.
Yeah, my piloting skills are nowhere close to theirs.
Sure.
But I have a respect for them and their abilities.
Yeah.
All right, well, the more you know. Hey, something else I was going to say. I wanted to thank you real quick while I'm just loving on Heath for a minute.
Yeah,
a while back, you talked about how you get up in the mornings and you make your bed every morning. And I started doing that. And the other day, I've been doing it for a couple weeks, and and Christine asked me, she's like, "Why do you do that? Why does it matter? We never. It's not like we hang out in this room. Company doesn't come over. It doesn't matter. Like." And I told her, I'm like, honestly, because he talked about it on this show once, and I didn't think much of it then, and the next morning I woke up and just thought offhandedly I should do that. And I started doing it, and it was exactly what you said. It's somehow it's checking something off an invisible to-do list.
Yes.
It's accomplishing a task, first thing. And everything after that is just like I'm already in like getting things done mode. I feel like I've done something, and I will continue to do things. Like I don't know, it's picking up momentum in a weird way.
It really is. That's a perfect way to explain it. It is picking up momentum, and not only that, like, is it not amazing to you that how if you just make your bed, you can have stuff everywhere in your room. Yep. But if your bed's made, the whole room kind of looks put together. But if everything is put together in the room, but the bed's not made, it looks like a wreck.
Yeah.
And there's something about coming home then at the end of the day and walking in and everything being kind of put together, like your life's put together almost. I don't know.
And it's just
I'm
like
glad
more
you tried it to
sleep.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Highly encouraged.
Maybe next you'll start my new morning routine habit.
What's that?
A list of 10 things you're grateful for.
Oh, wow.
It's not for everybody, and it's not permanent.
I'm still working on the making it.
It's time consuming.
I'm still working on the making a to-do list every morning.
He's taking the steps here.
Yeah.
Okay, so start with that.
12-step program.
Be thankful for things down the road. Be thankful for things next year.
I'm praying at the altar of the Oaks here. Like I'm working my way up the ladder. But we should talk about our first headline.
Yes.
This is...
You guys are going to laugh at this.
Yeah. Woman's obituary takes a dark turn. An 80-year-old woman's seemingly straightforward obituary in the Redwood Gazette last week took a dark turn nobody could have predicted. I don't know the best way to get all this across. Should I just read it right out?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not that long.
Yeah, I think you got to.
All right. Kathleen Demlow was born on March 19th, 1938 to Joseph and Gertrude Shunk of Wabasso. She married Dennis Demlow at St. Anne's in Wabasso in 1957 and has 2 children, Gina and Jay. Very sweet. In 1962, she became pregnant by her husband's brother, Lyle Demlow, and moved to California. She abandoned her children, Gina and Jay, who were then raised by her parents and Clemens, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Shunk. She passed away on May 31st in Springfield and will now face judgment. She will not be missed by Gina and Jay, and they understand that this world is a better place without her.
Wait, read the little tweet below it, because this guy that tweeted the obituary.
Yes, it's Stu. Paragraph 1, okay. Paragraph 2, okay. Paragraph 3, wait. Paragraph 4, oh. Paragraph 5, airplane flies overhead with the banner reading, "Welcome to hell, Mom." My God.
It went so fast.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
It's less like a roller coaster and more like one of those elevator amusement rides. It just drops straight down without you knowing it. Whiplash is what this is. What do you think?
Well, what's great is that I like what Jenny and I, because we had two different kind of perspectives on it.
Yeah, and for people who are just, maybe hearing this podcast for the first time, basically we get a headline. We don't talk about the news aspect of it. We just kind of talk about what we would take from this, in business or in life, that sort of thing. And so when I heard this headline, it is funny to see how we both kind of take them in.
Have a different...
Yeah, you go ahead with yours first.
I love it.
I just automatically thought about legacy, but we talked about it recently, a lot around legacy. We've talked about it, and so I immediately went to, God bless, when somebody's writing your, you got to remember all the people you're leaving that you're around every day, they are in charge of writing your obituary.
Sure.
Like remember that everybody you interact with, your family and everything, they're in charge of writing your obituary. Do you want this to be your obituary or not, right? I mean, you got to think about that.
Like, will people be fishing for something nice to say? Like, what could we possibly say nice about that?
Or exactly, what are they going to say about yours? You got to remember, when you're gone, it's up to everybody else. They have the pen in their hand, not you. So their thoughts and their looks at what they think about you is what matters, not your own.
Yeah, and how you're going to impact people.
Absolutely.
So the thing that I took from this, or what it, kind of made me think, was how are we going to tell the people in our lives right now how we feel about them? I'm thinking about this in a positive way, not in the way that if your mom abandoned you, whatever.
Sure.
I let bygones be bygones, with that kind of stuff. But isn't it sad that when somebody is really remarkable and really amazing, sometimes they pass and they have no idea how much the world loved them? And I think that that's really tragic for people who are, if somebody does touch you, like, and it will catch people off guard when you do this. Yeah. If you say, you know what, Zach, I love the way, that you always introduce the show and you're always so prepared, and that kind of stuff. You might be like, okay, Jenny, what's with the random compliments? Like, get off me. But it's how nice is it? Because I've lost people, because I've had loss in my life, and I've had as we all have, and I've had times where even somebody ebbs and flows in and out of your life, and you wish, gosh, would it be weird now for me to reach out after 5 years and tell them how they impacted me? And I think it's never too late to thank someone. But really just thinking about loss and how we make the most of someone's life and really celebrate them now. We had, for my mom's 60th birthday party, and I kind of in secret got some of her friends together for dinner, and I don't think my mom's ever had a birthday party. I'm in fact 100% certain she's never had a birthday party. And so it was really simple. We just did like dinner at a Mexican restaurant, and we went around the room, and it just kind of came out. It was pretty organic in the way that people just started people asked, oh, how do you know Jeanette? How do you know Jeanette? And they started giving these stories. And so one by one, we all shared kind of a way that she had touched us. And my mom, she still talks about it. She is no longer, this was years ago. And she still talks about this day. And she said, I almost feel like, in a good way, that was kind of like, would that be what you guys would say at my funeral? And she's like, I love that I got to experience that and see the light from other people. And she said, I had no idea. I knew this person was my friend, but I didn't know I'd impacted them in that way.
You're really good at doing it on a regular basis, on all the kind of on the regular things and which are impactful. And that's one of the awesome things about you. And I'm not very good at the smaller type of things. I've always been I feel like when it comes to something kind of bigger of letting people really know, like there was a teacher at our school going up that really sparked me in a big way that she didn't know it, I don't think, and that she wasn't even my teacher. Mm-hmm. She was like the most school-spirited. Miss Dansby was the most school-spirited person there was. She was the cheerleading coach, and so she wasn't even my teacher. But what she did, her and her husband I waited tables at a Mexican restaurant at 15, and they would always come in and sit in my section and talk to me. And then in the hallway, she'd always grab me. And one Friday night, she loved football, and she watched every game. One Friday night, I lost my temper, which, I never do that.
Shocker.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
old Heath. I think that was more of a... Thankfully,
he shade on the podcast.
He grew out of that.
Sure, of course.
I had, and I threw a temper tantrum on there and stuff. And the next week I was walking down the hall. She said, Heath, come here. She goes, look, son, you're a leader. You lead a lot of people at the school. You lead that football team. When you lost your temper and you did all that, everything went downhill after that. You've got to be better than that. And I'll never forget, that was the first time I think somebody really said, you're a leader to me. And she was the one that was like trying to start a debate team because she wanted me to be on there. Like, she was just such a positive, encouraging person to me. I don't know if she was to everybody or she just found something in me personally that it was, but that sparked something inside of me that now has, gone to the path that I'm on. I honestly believe that. And and her husband always coming in and sitting in my section. They just everything about it. And I think you got to take that time, that those little things when you see something in somebody, that how big of a difference that can make in somebody's life. And, I'll always, and I whenever, I think when I got back to Dallas and I was thinking about writing the book, I picked up the phone and called her. I looked up her info, found her on Facebook, messaged her, said, can I have her number? And I called her and I told her that. Because I'd never told her that, but I wanted to let her know that.
I'm so glad you told her.
I am too. And, so Miss Dansby is somebody that I'll always be grateful for with that. And I think that, that's a bigger thing that's where I can but you're so good at doing it on a regular basis. And I think that's what I loved about what you talked about on the stories. I think we got to do more of that on a regular. You got to let people know all the time, all the little things.
Yeah, we were talking about airports at the beginning, and I think that's one of the reasons why airports feel so cold, because we don't even look each other in the eye and say
especially
hello.
Anymore.
It's just kind of, you're like crowded but alone. Even stuff like that. You get good service if someone gives me good service at the airport, I'm applauding them for that. Like, wow, thank you. Or great. You asked if I wanted to buy water too. Sure.
Yeah.
Just interacting and connecting with people. And I think I do that because I know that's, I respond well to that. Not everybody does, but I don't think anyone's going to turn down a legitimate compliment.
Yeah, well, I think it's more so it's letting people know things that they've done. If you're sitting here on earth right now and you haven't been able to tell that person that one little thing, that maybe somebody sparked something, maybe somebody said something to you that picked you up on a day that you were really down, go let them know that happened, because what that does is help them, remind them that what they do every day in their walk does matter. And the little thing they said that they probably don't even remember changed you. And that's going to make an impact in their life. It's going to be paying it forward, basically. So I hope you go out there and try to make that statement with somebody and let them know that, so that you don't get an obituary left, like that. So we'll be back in a minute for second segment of Second Shot.
He's a suit and tie kind of guy with deep Southern roots. Heath Oaks hosts more of Second Shot coming up on RNCN.
To all of my friends in the great state of Texas, if you have not taken advantage, I have a way to save you a ton of money. I have saved over about $3,000 in the last year, and I have no hassle. Go to energyogre.com, put in the promo code SECONDSHOT. Now listen, promo code SECONDSHOT, and you're going to get a free month just for signing up and saving a ton of money. So don't be crazy. Stop sitting around talking about, is this the real deal, and go do it right now. energyogre.com, promo code SECONDSHOT, and a free month. Thanks. Go get it now. Run.
Ready, aim, fire. Second Shot is back for another round on RNCN.
So we were talking off air a little bit about Will Ferrell. I don't know about you, but like one of my favorite movies of all time is Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is a movie. It's funny. This is gonna date me in a way that might be offensive to other people on the podcast. I was working at the movies when Step Brothers came out.
Yeah,
I was in high school. No,
good.
Zach is actually 12 years old.
People didn't go. People didn't go see that movie, and the people that did would like. There were people who would come out and be like, "I want my money back. This is so stupid."
Really? With Step
and
Brothers?
No.
This is his favorite.
This comes around, I promise. And I saw it, and I thought the same thing. I was like, "This is so dumb." And no lie, years later, like only a couple years ago, I went and bought the Blu-ray. Because for some reason, like, I didn't get it back then, but it meant something, and it means something different now. And that is something that can only be said about some of the greatest art culture has ever created. Somehow, that movie stands the test of time.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Do you want to create ninja beds? Yup.
It scratches this very immature itch in the back of my brain, and I can't. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing.
One of my good friends, Mills, and I, we always quote Step Brothers, like back and forth. My buddy Mills looks like Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. I can almost probably say what I mean. I think it's hilarious. I love.
Well, I've never seen it, so sometimes I'm like, why is he saying these random sentences?
Oh, it's
like call me dragon.
It's so childish. There's so much about it that is.
It's great. It's epic.
Socially irredeemable. But you're right. I still laugh when I watch it. So I. You know what?
Wasn't there something you sent me the other day? There's something about that. I can't remember what it was, but it's in Step Brothers. Whenever you hear people talk about boats and hoes, that was in Step Brothers.
Oh my gosh, that's what that was from.
Oh yeah,
Step Brothers. They did a music video about it.
It was
Prestige Worldwide.
It was a gun control meme.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
Anyway.
I remember, but boats and hoes came from Step Brothers.
Nachos,
there's so many things that everybody talk about in daily life now. Like now, everybody's boats and hoes, whatever. They all come from Step Brothers.
I know.
I can assure you I've never said that sentence.
That movie,
well,
it blazed a trail. It forged a path.
It did. It did.
Planted a flag. It really did.
Prestige Worldwide.
The other headline we have for the show, speaking of flag planting, IHOB, pancake chain. Man, I blew that. IHOP hints at name change.
And do not edit that. Do not edit that.
Never.
Come on, Matt. Do me a solid.
No.
If IHOP stands for International House of Pancakes, what could IHOB be? That's what people are trying to figure out after the pancake purveyor tweeted on Monday. For 60 pancaking years, we've been IHOP. Now, we're flipping our name to IHOB. With the B. Lowercase. The tweet also teased a big reveal on June 11th that didn't specify what prompted the alleged name change. I didn't start the clock. I'm 2 for 2, Matt.
Oh boy!
Do you mind digging me out of this?
I saw
hole,
these
please?
points. Yeah. I saw this pointing going on.
When this segment runs long, you have nobody but Zach Lewis to thank.
Perfect.
You know what's interesting?
At Apple Zackintosh.
Obviously, let's all be honest. The B means breakfast.
That's what people are thinking.
I think so. I've been getting some responses on Facebook. Somebody said beagles, bacon, biscuits,
Bacon's popular.
Bankruptcy.
No, it's not bacon or anything.
Bankruptcy.
The reason they're going that when the IHOP started, they were all pancakes really, and then they've evolved into basically breakfast all day.
Well, they even do lunch and dinner.
I guess that there's some people that don't know what IHOP is. They see International House of Pancakes. They think it's just pancakes. I guess. Honestly, it's all a publicity. It's all marketing.
You're right. Even going down to making it a lowercase b instead of a capital B, and that's what I think is so clever about this, because people have looked at it and go, "Wow, look at IHOP being desperate." I'm like, no. IHOP is clever because IHOP is not a word. It is an acronym for a bigger meaning, and everybody that's ever even passed an IHOP sign knows IHOP stands for International House of Pancakes. So when IHOP is trying to make waves, when they're trying to get in the age of social media and do something different, what do? They flip the acronym.
Well, let me ask you this too. They got an extremely large amount of free advertising because of it.
Oh, totally.
Exactly.
Your show talked about IHOP this morning about this name change. And it's syndicated in 6-7 markets, and they didn't pay a dime.
Exactly, and they didn't pay a dime, and we can legitimize it as a news story because of all the buzz they're creating. But it does kind of give the bigger lesson if you are, an entrepreneur, or you're doing your own thing, or you have your own company or something like that, and perhaps you don't have a big marketing budget, or you don't have a PR person, or you don't
get creative.
Getting creative like this can be done on a much smaller level, even with your own personal brand, in terms of releasing something a little bit, just a little bit outside the mainstream, can get a lot of attention. And you're right. I mean, we gave them free advertising galore.
Oh yeah,
all morning long.
You're not the only one.
And we're talking about it again right now as kind of the the hop off for this topic.
Oh, hop! Oh, you
Hop
trying
off.
to make a little
pun.
Hob off, yeah.
Hop off.
Yeah, the free advertising is stunning. And like, I look at a company, to just draw an immediate comparison, like Denny's, who always does the big movie deals, like with Disney, the Han Solo thing where they've got 6 meals on the menu. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No.
This was a tweet.
Yes.
That arguably costs nothing.
Yep.
And like, look at the waves it's made.
Yeah.
Yeah. From just looking at what you are and knowing what to do.
They obviously were flat. They've obviously been flat, and they probably haven't been growing in sales. And they're like, because people go, how can you change? It's an iconic type, Well, obviously it was flat. I mean, IHOP is not going. The people who know it as IHOP are always going to call it IHOP, okay? And the others are not. It's not this game-changing thing that is going to wreck their whole identity. What it's doing is getting them all relevant in the news again. It's free advertising nationwide. I mean, it's huge. I mean, look at it on social media, how crazy it's gotten.
It's smart. And the other smart element that they included in that too, again, just thinking of all of you, if you were trying to do this, on your own level, is they posted the graphic with it, with what the new logo will be, and they teased ahead to, on Monday, we're going to learn what it stands for. So not only are they going to get this media attention today, but on Monday, it's going to start all over again.
Yeah, they haven't even said what the B stands for yet. They're holding
a few days in between. So it's like they did this, and then it's like a slow release and trickle, and then things will die out over the weekend, and then Monday they hit it again, and people can talk about it all week.
And it's going back to reminding in today's world and things that you're doing, your marketing does not have to cost money today. That's the glorious part about it. Back, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, unless you had, $30,000 around, you weren't going to be able to advertise on local radio, local TV, or anything. So you couldn't even get into the game for less than that, right? Nowadays, if you're somebody that's trying to get something started, or you're trying to make an awareness of something, if you can create good stuff on a regular, consistent basis, then things can come out. It's Oreos, right? Everybody want to talk about Oreo. Remember they come out with that deal they were saying about the guess the flavor of what this is, and they had those special Oreo things. That was on Mike in the morning, and that was all free advertising.
Right.
That's all that was. They came up with a way to have their name set up everywhere.
Right. I think people are quick to forget because of social media and how much is out there, the sea of content that is the internet. Like 20, 30 years ago, the only way you were getting your voice out was advertising budgets, working with local markets or national markets. You had to have big ideas and big. Now you can take your phone out of your pocket and film something and have it instantly on the internet.
As I just did.
It's that easy.
With my phone and my Insta story and videoed you guys.
Yeah. Check out Jenny on Instagram at
Jenny Anchondo.
Jenny Anchondo.
Now, let me ask you this. People that want to get some PR and stuff, being somebody that been on the other side of the table, what are things that maybe they do want to be looking at trying to get some stuff out there on maybe local TV or any of those types of things? What are stuff they can do?
This is like my favorite topic. I love this topic because I do think it is really hard to get coverage, media coverage, whether it's your local, even just neighborhood newspaper or a magazine or on TV. But so say it's your restaurant. Let's kind of keep with the restaurant thing. Say you have a restaurant and you're kind of like, oh man, we would like to get some coverage for something like that. You have to think about how you can do a gimmick like this. Like a gimmick can work too.
Sure.
Or you can think about how we can help people or teach people.
Yep.
Help them, teach them, give something back aside from me. Yep. This philosophy works in everything in life, but also specifically with media coverage. So let's say, the show I work on is called Morning Dose. So say you're like, man, I like this show. I watch the show. And I also think, for the record too, pitch the shows that you like and enjoy. It just makes more sense.
Yes.
Don't send a pitch to a show you've never watched before.
Yes.
It's just awkward when they're like, you're like,
but I think
you?
it's their approach that everybody misses.
Yeah. So if you're saying, hey, you know what, National Pancake Day is coming up next week, and we have this whole event happening, so we're gonna give away free pancakes. IHOP does do that.
Yeah.
But also we want to come on and teach you guys our secret recipe. we're going to give away the secret recipe.
That all of your viewers can make it home.
Yeah, that they can make it home, because you're not asking anybody to buy anything. That's really the key with getting that that coverage, and also creating a loyal fan.
Versus sending an email saying, hey, we've got really great pancakes. Your people really need to know how good our pancakes are. We're coming on air. Those are two different pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the how can I help or how can you help me? You know, that, like I said, it works
You've got
in
to
all
let
of
them
life.
know how it's going to help benefit them.
Yeah, so you email in, you say National Pancake Day is coming up, so that's like the peg, the relevancy, why we should have you on, and we want to share our secret recipe. We can come on, and Jenny and Layla could maybe cook with us, and we're going to bring in some aprons, and you know, you want to think about how generous you can be with what you can share with the audience, and also think about, would I want to watch this? Like if it's another company, would I want to just see these people make sandwiches even though they're not going to tell me what's in their secret sauce?
Well, and the other kicker too is that you got to remember the news stations and stuff. They're in it for their viewers. Like they've whatever they put on air has got to be for their viewers. It's not about because you got a good pancake. Well, everybody says they got good pancakes, okay?
Yeah.
But it's again finding something relevant to tie into why that need is and what it's going to do for the viewers that are listening, and that's in social media too. That's in anything you're trying to get out there. Any kind of cause you're getting out there, you don't want to just send stuff to these influencers saying, "Hey, will you post my thing coming up, my deal coming up?" It's like that.
I get hit up for that all the time.
It's like no, there's nothing in that. You're just saying, "Oh, I want to post this thing." Number one,
it detracts from that person's brand too if they're just always promoting stuff without getting
some backstory and some really
does not work.
And one more last little thing. I know because Zach started the clock late, we're behind on time.
Oh, yes.
But when you're doing that, so the same thing works. Say you want to get all this media coverage, but you don't get it. It doesn't matter. You can make your own media coverage because you can make an Instagram account and you can post your own stories. Again, same example with the pancake restaurant. Don't be afraid because you want people to buy pancakes from you to give people recipes, ideas, things like that. It's not going to keep... Come on now. It's not going to keep them from going to your restaurant. They're just going to become more connected to you as a brand and as a person. So the more that you share, I mean, it's like I'm sharing these media secrets right now. Yeah. You know, that some people might be like, oh, why would you tell them how to send a pitch? Well, because I want everybody to do well too.
You want the best.
Yes, and I want the best content.
And a lot of people aren't sending them because they don't know how, and they think they got to be something special to get on there. You know, like a lot of people aren't sending them because they're not knowing how, and that's a good way for a lot of these people to understand there's probably a lot better out there.
Yeah. Hit us up. Be polished.
The thing that I would say is that you really got to understand it's not a one-hit wonder thing. You've got to consistently do these things. And I also would say if whatever you're wanting to do, if you look at your arena, whatever everybody in your arena is doing, do the exact opposite. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get like Denny's isn't changing their name, right? IHOP just went to IHOB, okay? It made a big difference. They're doing what nobody else is doing. Like every marketing, quote unquote, genius would say, on IHOP, better never. It's too much of a brand name. You're crazy. Don't change it, right? And I guarantee you, this could potentially be a resurgence that IHOP is no longer getting with the generation who knows IHOP, so they're going to IHOP, and you know, there's just there's something they did with it. So look at what is going on in the arena that you're in and do the exact opposite and see what the heck happens. Okay, it's going to work better than what it was before. So we got some a good question really coming up on the third segment here on Second Shot.
Now that's what I call ignorance on fire. More of Second Shot with Heath Oaks still to come.
You guys have been listening to Second Shot and hearing us talk about it. You need to go pick up my book, Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. You can get it on Amazon in a paper book. You can also hear this beautiful voice of mine in audiobook style on Audible or anywhere you're going to get your audiobooks. Guys, this book took a lot of time to put into it, and I believe it can really be some life-changing stuff to help you on your path to success. And hopefully you're going to fail your way to success just like I did. Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. Amazon.com, Audible.com, audiobooks, paper books, everything. Get it, share it with your people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Go pick it up today.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot on RNCN.
So, waffles, pancakes, French toast. What's your choice?
Well, if you're peppering the French toast, then we got to.
Well, you got to. Don't you got to throw
Easily
French toast in?
pancakes. I have no issues with this at all.
Right.
Pancakes all the way.
Easily.
Pancakes.
Like by a long shot.
French toast almost falls into that margin of like pancake. I don't want to say products, but like offshoots. Kind of like a Dutch baby. You ever had one of those?
No.
It's like a German. No? Okay.
No,
Well,
no,
that's like it's like a real fluffy thing with lemon and powdered sugar. Matt, you know what I'm talking
amazing.
about, right?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
What are you, Matt?
Waffles all the way. Waffles.
You've
Yeah,
got
absolutely.
You've got an interesting angle. We talked about this on another show once. You're not a pancake guy.
No, I feel like pancakes always end up being a mistake at some point.
Why?
I think
only
you get a stack of pancakes.
You are offending Jenny over here.
I'm really upset.
Just goes everywhere.
It's fine.
No,
More
it's
pancakes for me.
It's always you get the stack of pancakes and you think, man, this is gonna be delicious, and then you get halfway through and be like, I'm never gonna eat another pancake in my entire life.
No, you just need
That's
to
the
put
way I
more
feel.
butter and more syrup on it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's one option,
That
but
is-
you know what? The waffle it
holds the syrup.
holds the syrup.
It's geometric.
It's
sure.
perfect. It's crispy. It's
I've
delicious.
heard that argument so many.
I think my thing with the pancakes, man, they lay out flat. They're fluffy. They're light. Waffles, they can get too crispy, too rigid.
Yes,
I love
too
it.
rigid.
Burn them, kinda.
It's like
they-
Captain Crunch in your mouth.
Exactly.
Like all like.
You can go too far. Yeah.
I'm a French toast all the way.
French toast all the way.
But my French
Your French toast is really good. She throws a
Thank
little
you.
cinnamon.
I make a super healthy French toast with light bread, egg beaters, almond milk, cinnamon, and stevia.
How about almond
If you
milk's
want the
not a bad
recipe.
choice for French toast. That probably goes really well.
Do any of you have a breakfast joint you're like loyal to? I know Jenny's probably not because she never eats anything.
Fuel City Tacos.
Oh, Fuel City Tacos.
I've never had the breakfast tacos there.
But like the
they're
IHOP,
good?
the Denny's, the Waffle House, or do y'all have any allegiances to any kind of those?
I'm Waffle House 100% of the way. Love Waffle. I don't care how dirty or nasty it is. That's part of the experience, baby.
I've never been to
I
Waffle
love
House.
Waffle House.
I got a local place my sister used to work at. It's a little cafe out in Keller that I'm a big fan of. But that's like it's one of those mom and pop joints.
Yeah.
Like it's not any kind of chain. And I like that. I like that local home.
I'm 100% any hole in the wall,
Diner.
mom and dad own type thing.
Yep.
I mean, IHOP. Look, if I'm running late, there's something or if it's just there and we're hungry and there's something there, I'll eat an IHOP or Denny's or any of that. But I mean, like, if my choice is going to be finding something that you can walk in and it looks like a grandma or grandpa and they're cooking stuff up.
Remember when we had like your last supper at that diner before we went to Miraval Resort?
Last supper.
Or last
yeah.
breakfast. So I went to for our like little baby moon trip before I had Brighton. We went to Miraval Resort, which is this really high end. Health.
It's all
Resort
a health
retreat.
resort.
It's
Nice.
fitness classes, meditation, yoga, really healthy food.
All I thought about was fitness
Heath was
was fitness of
stressing.
fitting a burger in my mouth.
So we went to a diner and pigged out.
I pigged out.
Was this the place with the biscuits and gravy that were vegan?
Oh, yes.
That's that place? Oh, wow. Taking it
Vegan
back.
biscuits and gravy?
Oh, it
I
was
remember
horrible.
What are you talking about?
There was a photo.
I never tried it.
I had a beautiful
outright
time,
refused.
Miraval Resort. Thank
Yeah.
you, and I'll come back
It's very
anytime.
health conscious of you.
Miraval was beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worth the money. But the food wasn't as bad as I was expecting, number
Oh,
one.
the food's legit.
And I was not eating vegan biscuits and gravy. But
How could you not try it? Just a bite.
did you see it?
I did.
Did you see a
but,
picture of that?
I mean, when are you going to come across that again in your life?
I
I mean,
don't-
even saying it now without the picture, I can't even imagine what it looks like.
That was
didn't look
something
great.
was
Oh,
never.
wait.
I wouldn't give it
Okay.
to my dog.
One quick shout out to a breakfast restaurant that I forgot, Cracker
Yeah.
Barrel. Give me
yeah,
some Cracker
Cracker
Barrels.
Barrel's
Gosh.
Cracker Barrel.
I
Cracker
love
Barrel.
Cracker
Forgot
Barrel.
about Cracker Barrel.
I can do some Cracker
People
Barrel.
do
That's
the whole
legit.
I used
country
to-
tour driving
When I was
from
when I was a kid, I used to love Cracker Barrel because that little game with the little sticks.
Oh, the peg game,
The
yeah.
peg games.
Oh, yeah. Are you an egg no raw moose?
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can
Look
pick
at-
up a book on cassette on your way out. Man, my,
Sure, yeah, I
my,
love
my
that place.
family is up in Michigan, made a lot of trips cross country when I was a kid. Ate a lot of Cracker Barrels, and I never regretted a single one.
Yeah.
Great place.
That's some good biscuits and gravy now.
you
No,
go.
they are some good biscuits. I love some biscuits and gravy. Jenny doesn't understand why we like biscuits and gravy, but I
It's just not
love
my
biscuits
thing.
and gravy.
Yeah,
I can tear it up.
it's so good.
You got such a good email.
I
You
love
did.
this email.
Wow. Yeah.
I thought this was a great email with a great question as well. So, just so everybody knows, again, and Jenny did a great job last time at explaining how to leave a review.
Yeah.
And so, if you go into your podcast app or wherever it is, and you scroll all the way down where it says write a review, it says write
to
a
get
review,
into the
ratings and
podcast
review. Get
first.
into the
Yes.
podcast app. And you click on that, and it's just tap 5 stars. It says it right there. You got to scroll to the bottom, and you'll see it. And you click on it, and you can type up a quick review. You can do it from your phone and anywhere. So, For all of you that I've been shaming, some of you have actually said, okay, I'm doing it, and y'all have done it lately, so thank you. I applaud you. Appreciate it. And for the others, I'm still shaming you, and you still need to do it. Now,
it's super easy, and maybe we'll read your question on the air if you have a question.
Yeah.
And go to secondshotcast@gmail.com. Send us any question. Maybe you got a headline, and you want to say, hey, what's your take on this? And here's our take. Or maybe you just want to let us know anything about the show, or you just got a specific question, whatever it is. If you send it to us, secondshotcast@gmail.com, we'll read it on air and talk about it. So this week's is, we got it from Brenda Walker. And I'm going to I'll paraphrase some of it, which is, hello, Heath and gang. Thankfully, my wife, on her Instagram, she saw about the book and podcast. She's not a big book reader, and she's got a 13-month-old. We kind of know what that's like.
Yeah, so she and I are in the same phase right now.
Oh, wow.
And so she said she saw the book and thought it'd be something she would read. And so she did, and she was a few chapters in, and she had some news of they were doing layoffs at where she worked at, and, life changed for her pretty quickly. So cleaned out her office and started listening to the podcast, and she goes, I just felt like this was supposed to happen. Now that I have time to listen to them, wow, I enjoy them. I recently left a review. Thanks, Jenny, for mentioning how, because my wife, she kept telling me, you got to teach people how to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. And then she did. I know you're right. You're always right.
I am.
I know. Men, you know what I'm talking about. But, she said, she felt like a roller coaster of her emotions here recently with all that happening. Anger, sad, happy, thankful, adventurous, scared. And that's so true. Everybody it is. When you go through life-changing type things, that roller coaster of angry, mad, sad, happy, thankful, everything is huge. And, she made some promises to herself to make time for it. And the second promise was she'd work half days and network the other half of the day to figure out what she wanted to do next. Said, here's where I need your help. How do you truly dig deep to find a career that you want? I've done retail, no work-life balance. I've done financial firms, didn't see much opportunity after 9/11, and most recently in sales, working from home. Maybe it's time to have a change. I don't have a great severance pay, so I don't have much time to take off and think. Thank you for your book. I'm already telling my family and friends about it. Thank you, Brenda. You're awesome for sharing, and you're awesome for leaving a review. You're extra awesome for that, just so you know. But this is a question a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, how do you find that love? How do you find that career? How do you find whatever it is that you're in love with?
You said something earlier that's struck me. That's kind of in regards to this. You mentioned the art of the one-hit wonder, right?
Yep.
And I think what's the word I'm looking for here? What's disconcerting about that? What's distracting about the one-hit wonder is that people hear it and you think, right, they wrote one song and it was great. And it's like, no, they wrote hundreds before they got there, and they practiced for thousands of hours. And just because they only really found success once doesn't mean it wasn't like a lifetime of work to get there.
Yeah.
And when it comes to finding a great gig, getting on that career path, I think there's so many little things we can do to start leaning towards it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a direct thing, you may not be putting a resume into the company you want to work for, but you might be watching a YouTube tutorial on how to learn a skill that would help you. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
You're correct. You're spot on.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I think a couple of different things with this come to mind immediately. So, first of all, with Passion, she does have that little bit of time off, so that she does have that chance to breathe and think about, what am I doing with my time off? What do I do with my free time? As soon as I get off work, that's a job that I hate, or, what did I do with my time? Did I get excited about going to the gym? Did I get excited to go see my kids and their friends? Did I, do I love shopping? So it's like sometimes you don't even know, what do you like? Have you focused it on that? And so perhaps, wow, I do really like children. Maybe childcare could be really great for me, or you know what? I've always loved shopping. So maybe I do want to get back into retail or whatever that is. So there's that aspect of it. But the other thing is, work is work. So I think sometimes there's so much out there, especially on social media right now with like boss babe and hashtag love my job and hashtag best job ever and all this stuff, which is great. And you know that I love the positivity about it, but I think it can make other people feel like every minute of work has to be a thrill, and it's not.
Well, and it's like, you know what I think the best example on this is your dad. Your dad doesn't talk about how much he loves his job. Okay. He doesn't talk about that he hates it. Your dad has love and passion in bikes and all of that. And he does that after work. But he seems very happy. His job is a way for him to make ends meet to ride bikes.
Yes, exactly. So my dad was in the Navy, got trained in plumbing, has worked in the boiler room of a hospital for 35 years. And but I mean, I love the job because now he can fix everything.
Yeah.
You know, he's nice. Hospital engineer, and he's very good at it. But what he loves is cycling. So this job enables him to do that. So sometimes you also have to think about, look at in this potential opportunity, am I getting insurance? Are they paying me? There's a lot of other things. Not every minute is going to be work. And I hope that wasn't too far away from what she was asking.
Where I think you got to go to on it is that a couple lies people tell themselves is, those people, they know, everybody says you got to know somebody to it's all about who you know, right? Sure. And they go, well, I don't know anybody. Well, look, when Heath Oaks was 18, 19 years old, I didn't know anybody either. It's not like I got the connections I got now just because I don't have the connections I have now because I was a lazy bum on my couch eating Fritos. Okay, that's reality.
Right.
I wasn't born into a royal family with connections. And so the lie of, well, those people can find the people and find the things because they got connections. You got to go make the connections. Mm-hmm. You got to go be somebody that people want to connect with. So what I loved about what Brenda said was that she was going to work half days and network the other half of the day. You're so spot on. You got to keep doing that. You got to stay focused on that and be networking and talking with people and how it is. The other thing is to find out what it is that you're going to love. If you don't have a clue, then go and try anything. Don't, a lot of times when people get a call on, they have the resume out there looking for a job and we call them, they go, is this 100% commissions? We're like, yeah. They go, oh, I'm not interested, and hang up the phone. It's like you don't even know what you're saying no to.
Yeah.
You're unhappy. You're at the 5th job in 7 years and you hang up the phone that fast on not having a clue if this is something you could love or not. I didn't grow up. I didn't know anything about insurance. I didn't grow up saying, oh, I can't wait to sell insurance. That was going to be my passion.
You don't think that's anybody's passion.
I got in selling insurance, which led to about 2.5 years into it of finding the passion inside of that, which was the developing people thing. So sometimes it's, if you look at it and go, if money was not an object, what would you do for free? Find that's where you can start and say, okay, that industry, right? Let's just say it was
right, kind of like what I was saying. What do you do in your free time when you get off work?
Absolutely. If you say whatever that is, find an area in that, and maybe your start in that area isn't what you think is your dream job, but get your foot in the door in that arena, right? Like get your foot in the door in that arena somehow. Find the events where there will be people of position of power in those networking deals. You can Google them nowadays. There's no excuses. And you go to every single one of them. So say, what is it that I would do for free? Find those areas and then start immersing yourself in areas and network focuses of that, and going out and meeting those people and shaking hands and kissing babies, as we say, and start making those connections, because just because you see somebody's got connections now didn't start off with those connections. You got to go make them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Absolutely.
So that was a great question, Brenda. And I hope we answered. And if we didn't, send us an email of what another question you have, Brenda.
I would love
if we
to hear
didn't
how
get it to
she ends up, how she's doing. And I feel we're in that same phase in life, Brenda. So I feel like we're living this life together.
Yes.
It's a lot.
We appreciate you taking the time, Brenda, and look forward to others sending emails as well. Where can they find you, Jenny?
At my Twitter handle changed, at Jenny Anchondo TV on Twitter, at Jenny Anchondo on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you go to my Instagram stories, you'll see some of the behind the scenes podcast stuff too.
Good Lord, I'm falling apart this show. Yes, at Apple Zackintosh. That's me, running the clock. Happy to be here.
At Heath Oaks on Twitter and Instagram, at Ignorance on Fire. You can look up any of those. Thank y'all for listening in.
And leave a review.
Look forward to your reviews. I love you all. Be good. See you next time.
the digital destination for premium talk radio.